Hello, Vincent. Walid El Hadidi from 365 Scores. For you as a coach, how you evaluate the level of FIFA Club World Cup between all tournaments you play with Bayern, Bundesliga, FIFA, UEFA Champions League? Is it a big international tournament for you, or just in third position for you between all big tournaments you play with Bayern?
It's difficult because when you're at Bayern Munich, I think the start of the season, you can maybe have the luxury to rank every competition and say which one is the most important. But once you play in it, once you start it, they all become very important. So, but when it comes to the level, look, I think the future will tell for this tournament. But when it comes to the level, I think. We've been privileged to participate in this tournament. We've been able to see a lot of good teams from other continents, teams that we normally don't analyze, teams that we normally don't pay so much attention to, and then obviously you see how much this game is a global game. So many teams have showed very good levels in games. I think it's been mentioned about the South American teams, but with a bit more luck, some of the African teams would have also gone maybe one more round. And I expect that every 4 years, those continents who are maybe not yet there will make steps, and that as it looks at the moment with South America and Europe, the levels are for all the guys who are watching the tournament, it's not as far from each other as people maybe think.
Hi,
Front row, yes.
Monsura, former Sportist Nigeria, and nice to see you again. Congratulations on qualification to the round of 16. So far, so good at the Hard Rock Stadium. Bayern Munich has been the only team with victory. Others have been going away with draws. So is this an advantage for your side? Can you do it again? And how do you plan to do it again?
Yeah, I mean, we do feel a little bit familiar with this place. I mean, I just walked in here and it's the same dressing room, it's the same pitch, and maybe the same atmosphere. But I think we're naturally always very confident, respectful for the opponent. But I think the best way to be confident as a coach is to have the players that we have. So the main thing for me is that we bring our best performance, try and go home with a victory, and enjoy our nights in Miami a little longer.
Next one, your neighbor, please. Yeah. You have the microphone? Oh, you give it back.
Yeah, Company, good evening. Jane Francis from Nigeria. And I'm wondering, so first of all, you won all your games in the group matches.
We didn't.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but you started you started very well, 10-0 against Auckland City, and then you won the Boca Juniors, sir, and lost against Benfica. But with that outstanding result, the coach that you're about to play said that in his group games also, his toughest, the team he would consider the toughest is Chelsea, which happens to be a European team. And now he's going also to play you, and you're talking about how South America and European teams are not really, so far apart in terms of quality and maybe, but do you also consider or what team would you consider the toughest also in your group, despite the outcome of the results?
No, look, we in our group, in the end we lost to only one team, and it was Benfica. So, but it's a team that we know, and the game had its own story, of course. So, I think I don't think we can overanalyze this too much. But now you go in the next stages. I think every team here belongs to the best teams. There's I think there's a few. The only thing you could say is there's a few European teams who could compete here who are not here, of course, and let's not forget about that. But in general, now the level is so high at the next level that it's difficult to make too much of a distinction. Tomorrow, Flamengo is a top team, top players, really, really well coached as well. Good mixture between probably something, that the journey of the coach as well, tactical discipline and aggressiveness and a very, very real dose of Brazilian creativity and flair, and something that you can only have if you live football like in that country, and okay, those are facts for the game tomorrow, but I think we bring a lot of quality as well. So we in the end tomorrow we will focus on that as well.
Next one is Klaus Bergmann on the left side. Yeah.
KOMPANY, Jamal Musiala.
Mr. KOMPANY, Jamal Musiala had been injured for a long time, and in that tournament he came in the first game. He had a knock in the second game. How is his situation now that you're entering a knockout game and you have to think about 120 minutes maybe? How do you think about him approaching the game? Well, sometimes as a coach you have to accept that you're not in control of really everything. I'd wish for everything to work out perfectly and to be planned perfectly, but in that situation we all know how the last month were for Jamal. The most important thing is that he's in practice and he's a part of it again, and for us it's better this way than not, but his role is something that we have to wait for and make a decision tomorrow. But he's not the only one. But we've been talking about integrating players. Well, you either go into the national team and you're not practicing with the team and you're really thrown into the deep end for the first game, or you've been injured, you didn't have any friendlies and you have to be integrated during those competitive games. It's the same with Minji, by the way. And you can't control everything, but we try to do everything we can in order to make him feel at home and have an important role. But when and for how long, well, you have to be patient. But he's healthy. Yes, he's here and he'll be part of the squad tomorrow. But what happens then is something we have to see tomorrow. Vincent, you've been here for 18 days now. It's a long time. There's a lot of money at stake in the quarterfinal. You as a coach, have you thought about incentives for the players because you have a bit more time with the players? Could you give them like 2 days off maybe? No, this is not my style, really, and it doesn't mean that I don't want to give any incentives to the players. It's just a physical thing. We want to keep the players fit. We want to have them in the best condition for the next games, and that's all planned, I'd say scientifically planned, and so it's not possible to just give them a couple of days off because it would hurt other aspects. But I don't think that we have the feeling that it's been for that long already. As far as the practice is concerned, the organization is concerned, it's really been good apart from our delay in arriving here. But it's going to be a completely normal preparation, and I've only looked at that game so far and not what's after that. You can ask me after this game tomorrow.
KOMPANY, Andrea Velar from Brazil. A few minutes ago, Flamengo head coach Felipe Luis talked about tactics, focus, discipline, and now you are talking about dribble, happiness, things like that. I mean, Brazilian players are used to talk about this. I would like to know, how do you see the Flamengo's idea of football? What do you study, and how do you see this game tomorrow?
I think if you spend time analyzing them, it's really clear what they do, So that's always, from one coach to another coach, also a very good way of communicating. It means he has very, very clear ideas. It means the players believe in his ideas, and of course they've had results as well to push the confidence. I think when I speak about what I see, it's like I said before, it's a mix of that. Discipline. Like, I think most teams at top level in the Champions League, they would also almost all of them consider it normal that the whole team defends in every phase. We would consider it very normal that the whole team participates in creating actions in every phase. And Flamengo is a team that has all those habits, which is the reason why I speak about a game that might not be too different from a top-level game in Europe for us. And maybe you have to ask the Flamengo coach if it's similar to a Brazilian game. I don't know, but it will feel, I think, similar to the games that we are used to at the top level.
Next one is Tobias Altscheffel.
Vincent, du hast schon zu Manchester City-Zeiten
during your times at Manchester City, you had a good relationship with Leroy Sané. He had his last practice session. Tomorrow will be his final game for Bayern Munich. Are you going to be emotional now? Well, that's a question to you. What does that mean? Are you going to get emotional tomorrow? Well, I haven't really thought about this, but now that you're alluding to it, he had been sitting on the pitch for quite a while after practice, so maybe he got emotional, but I was 100% focused on that game tomorrow, and we all know that this is his last game for Bayern Munich, but it's the same for every player at a certain point in time. What's important for me is that he's really performing well tomorrow for the team, and we can say farewell after that game. That is our goal, but ask me the question in 3 to 4 days or 3 to 4 weeks, but at this point in time, I'm only focusing on Flamengo and the players that we have available, and he is one of them.
Hi, how are you? I'm Kevin Antonio from Puerto Rico. I have a question for you. Any teams or players catch your eye? You said, hey, I hadn't seen that guy before in this tournament that you might not have seen because they don't play in Europe.
Some of them we know better than you think, but just to name a name so that everybody knows who have been watching the tournament. Obviously, you have players like Estevao, which is someone I will mention because it's not like we can take him out of Brazil anymore. So he's going to Chelsea. So I'm not creating a crazy inflation on a player, but there's individual players that are 18, 19 years old that you can see here. These are going to be the players who will make careers as well internationally in the future. But it's not necessarily only in the big Brazilian teams. It's also in the other nations, and I find it interesting. Not everyone can make it always at the top level, but a lot of players through this tournament, you can sort of see the evidence that they can make at least another step. And like I say, it's not only the players that are going to the top level. I don't want to name 10 players because it's not going to help.
Next one on the right side.
Yes. Good evening, company. My name is Fernando Valique de Barros. I'm a freelancer from Brazil. Brazilian coaches always say the European teams has more money to hire the best players. Bayern has a very good team. It means Bayern tomorrow is favorite against Flamengo, or something else can happen. Thank you.
Yes, I mean, just on just maybe one logical answer to this is how many people live in Brazil?
210 million.
So no country in Europe has 210 million people who are crazy about football as well. So that's also an advantage. So I think it balances things out a little bit. So I don't know. I don't. How is it possible to know who's favorite between two teams that have never played against each other? It's more important for me the message that we communicate on the pitch tomorrow. Bayern always wants to win, but the research I did about Flamengo, I feel that it's the same, and in Brazil it's the same for them. So you meet teams probably who have a culture of winning, and it will be similar for us as for them.
Thank you very much. Let's have 3 or 4 more. last row. Carry how, please.
Ja, Coach. Hallo.
Yeah.
Kurze Nachfrage zu.
A quick add-on to Leroy Sané. Will he get his minutes tomorrow? And I know it's a full focus on tomorrow's game, but Nick Woltemade, I have to ask about what do you think about the type of player Nick Woltemade is?